Hey guys, it's that Red 3 Valve. Today I'm going to talk about my grandpa. I posted it on Instagram. I didn't really get to explain more about him, but this is the time I can. He he was my father figure for my first five years of my life. My childhood was not the best, but you know, I'm here now. But that man loved building cars. I used to help him build cars. I have pictures of younger me sanding these cars. He was a big Chevy guy. He loved Corvettes. But I heard stories about him building these Cobras back in the 70s, 80s, and selling them and getting a big house and doing great things. He loved building these big motors, like big blowers. Like, if you think of Dom Toretto's Charger and the Fast and Furious, he built that type of stuff. But not only Dodgers, like Chevys, Fords, everything. Everything he built had a blower. He built them from scratch. He built SEMA vehicles in his garage. That's just what he did. But he was a Chevy guy. I'm a Ford guy, so I don't know how that came across. But my goal for him is to get a C3 Corvette one of these days, fully restore it, and all the memorabilia I have from him is gonna go with that car. Hopefully, I can put the car in a museum and have his memorabilia around it. That would be my goal, to dedicate him and his life. I love him. I love him more than you know. He's still with me. That guy used to spoil me when I was a kid. I mean, like spoil me. Like, if my mom wasn't gonna give me $10, he was gonna give me $10. If my mom wasn't gonna give me candy, he was gonna give me candy. It was one of those deals. This is really hard for me to talk about. I didn't get him for very much of my life. I got him for 10 years. And I'm 18, almost 19 now. Man, it's holy cow. It's been a while. I love him a lot. Even though he had dementia and everything, he still remembered who I was, which means a lot to me. I don't know how. It's a miracle that he did. That man, even though I was young and didn't really absorb a lot of knowledge from him when I was younger, I still remember building those cars. It was Bel Airs. It was uh, he had this old Ford Galaxy. It was baby blue with blue leather interior, pristine car. I loved riding in it. He would, even though he didn't have his license and he had dementia, he would still drive me around the block. He would still take me to car shows. He's a very family oriented person. He took care of me and my mom, even though some things he didn't do wasn't the greatest, but overall, man, he was a great person. Everybody he was around loved him. I haven't met a single person that didn't like that man. He got offered for NASCAR back in the 90s, early 2000s, to build their next gen engine because he was apparently really famous for that stuff in the car world back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. He denied it because he didn't want the recognition for it, which I respect a lot. He loved building engines. He didn't want his name thrown around. He just did it for fun. He did it for people. He did it more cheap than he should have. But he just loved doing it. It was his hobby. It was his passion. Even though he loved building those high horsepower engines, but he was a police officer at one point. So I don't know how those two came along. I know he's looking over me and very proud of what I'm doing. I'm building these $150,000 cars, or trying to, at least trying to learn. For God's sakes, I'm only 18, and I know a knowledge of maybe a college student of these cars. Like 2 years ago, I didn't even know how to change oil. I wasn't, after his passing, I wasn't around cars for the next 6 years. I wasn't around cars. So I came to this shop not knowing anything. Now I know how to do engine swaps and interior work and a lot of other minor stuff, but I still have a lot of learning. I learn every day. I've been doing a lot of social media for Muscle Car Concepts, but I know he's looking over me and proud. I know he's happy to see that I'm carrying on his legacy. Maybe not as a Chevy guy, but I'm still building these nice cars, watching, being a part of this. making a family out of this shop. Everything I do is for him. He was a big part of my life, and it's one of those sad things where I still haven't gotten over his death. I still haven't moved past it, even though it's been since 2016. So however long that has been, I try every day to become a better person for him and learn more for him. And I know he wants me to be happy. I know he wants me to move forward from his passing, but it's hard, man. It's hard. It's crazy how fast somebody could be taken away from you. For a lot of these years, I blamed myself for his passing. I know it wasn't even remotely my fault. I wasn't even there. I miss him more than you know, guys. That's my grandpa's story. That's why he means so much to me. That's why I love him. That's why I miss him and think about him every day. He was just a great guy. He's everything I want to be. But I love you guys more than you know. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed night.